Okay. I'd like to call the Planning and Zoning meeting to order, March 18th, 2003. And I want to first welcome a new member, Jacob Carr.
Thanks.
Welcome aboard. And we'll have roll call.
Chairman Francis.
Here.
Mr. Chambers.
Here.
Mr. Delakis. Absent, Mr. DeLucis.
Here.
Mr. Stavropoulos.
Here.
Ms. St. Arnold. Here. Mr. Vinson.
Here.
Mr. Carr.
Here.
Okay, thanks. The minutes have been delayed, so they'll be presented on April the 15th. And the first thing is the quasi-judicial announcement and swearing in of speakers by our attorney.
As soon as I find it.
Okay, take your time.
This is a quasi-judicial proceeding where the board acts in a quasi-judicial capacity. It's the board's function to make findings of fact based upon evidence presented at these hearings and apply those findings of fact to previously established criteria contained in the Code of Ordinances to make a legal decision regarding a particular application. The board may only consider evidence that the law considers competent, substantial, and relevant to the issues arising from the application and the applicable code sections. If the evidence demonstrates the applicant has met the criteria, the board is required to find by law in favor of the applicant. Conversely, if the evidence shows that the applicant has failed to meet the criteria, the board is required by law to find against the applicant. The parties to this hearing are the applicant and the city is represented by city staff. I don't see anybody who might qualify for intervener status, so I'll skip that part. There's an established procedure that will be followed at this hearing. All witnesses must give their testimony under oath. All persons testifying must give their names and address for the record. And all testimony and questions must address matters that are relevant and material to the issues under consideration. City staff will go first, present its testimony. Applicant will then have an opportunity to cross-examine city staff if desired. The applicant will then present its evidence. City staff will have an opportunity to cross-examine any witnesses presented by the applicant. Absent unusual circumstances to be determined by the board, an opening statement and presentation should be limited to 10 minutes. We then proceed to the public comment portion of the meeting. Members of the public opposing the application will have an opportunity to present testimony. After all members of the public opposing the application have finished, members of the public in support of the application have the same opportunity to present testimony. Each member of the public is limited to 4 minutes of testimony. Following public comment, the city staff and the applicant have an opportunity to present any necessary rebuttal evidence and make a closing argument or summary. Applicant goes first, followed by city staff. Absent unusual circumstances to be decided by the board, a closing summary and rebuttal evidence should be limited to 10 minutes. Following that, the board will consider the matter. I'm assuming you're here for one of these issues. If you intend to speak at the microphone and thereby present evidence or testimony, please raise your right hand and take the following oath. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give in this proceeding is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? We have affirmations all around. Will you be handling the conflict of interest or the ex parte communication?
We don't have the minutes.
We don't have minutes for this? Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You wanted the announcement as per the statute.
Yeah. Are there any? I guess we're.
Oh, okay.
Which one are we?
I don't know if you were talking about my case from the last meeting or.
The first one's deferred.
I think the first one's deferred, so I think we're on number 5. Oh, okay.
To defer. Okay. Okay, I'll entertain a motion for this.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we defer application 12.57 Denami Holdings until April 15th as the applicant has requested.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Chambers?
Yes.
Mr. DeLucis?
Yes.
Mr. Stavropoulos?
Yes.
Ms. St. Arnold?
Yes.
Mr. Vincent?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Chairman Francis?
Yes. Okay, I guess, we can move on then. And I believe, Mr. Yakavone asked if there was any, ex parte communication, relating to application 13-08. Is that Freesaw?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and, the first thing we'll have is the presentation from our staff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an annexation application of a little more than a quarter of an acre into the city of Tarpon Springs. They are requesting the residential urban future land use plan map category and the R70 zoning district. The location is 635 Beckett Way. And as far as background, as most of you know, the city has a mandatory annexation ordinance when you have the need for city water and or sewer service and you are contiguous to the corporate limits of the city of Tarpon Springs. In this case, the applicant is requesting utility service from the city. They are contiguous to the city of Tarpon Springs jurisdiction. In order for the city to provide that service to the applicant, they're required to annex, and as such, the annexation policy requires that we place the property in a commensurate zoning and future land use category that is currently applied in the county. In this particular case, the property is currently zoned R4, which is a 1, 2, and 3 family residential district in the county, and we are proposing to annex the property and place it in the R70 zoning district. There are no changes being requested to the future land use category of residential urban. As far as review criteria, you have those criteria in the staff report. We determined that the property is contiguous to the existing Tarpon Springs municipal limits on the west and on the south. This annexation will reduce the size of the existing enclave and is reasonably compact. We've also determined that the city has the public facilities available to serve this property. We determined also that the property in question and the proposed future land use is consistent with the city's future land use element of the comprehensive plan. You'll see that TRC reviewed the application on February 28th, and you see the comments from the different departments in your staff report. We have properly noticed the application and have not received any inquiries to date. Therefore, the staff recommendation is 3 parts. The first is to approve the annexation ordinance, which is ordinance 2013-13. The second action is to approve the application of the future land use designation of RU residential urban to the Tarpon Springs future land use map, which is ordinance 2013-14. And lastly, to approve providing for the R70 zoning district on the official zoning map of Tarpon Springs, which is ordinance 2013-12. In your backup, you also have a location map, aerial photo of the property, zoning map, future land use map, a boundary survey. We've also included summary zoning information from the county of the R4 zoning district, summary of the city's R70 zoning district, as well as a description of the residential urban future land use categories from the city's comprehensive plan. And that concludes my remarks.
Okay, thank you. We'll start with questions to staff. Mr. St. Arnold, do you have any questions?
No, not at this time.
Mr. Jalousis?
No questions.
Mr. Vincent?
I have no questions of staff.
Mr. Chambers?
I have no questions.
Mr. Stavropoulos?
No questions.
Mr. Carr?
No questions.
Okay, I don't have any questions. Oh, I have, this is for a single residence.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we'll have the applicant, if you would like to come up to the lectern here. And, you have 10 minutes. Tell us what you plan on doing. And
Actually, comment to the last comment you made.
Give us your name first, please.
Okay.
You may want to lift up the mic a little bit. Yeah. And just give us your name and address.
You want my residence address? So it's Tom Priso, as written on your application, and I live at 1029 Jamaica Way, Tarpon Springs, Florida, and this is for 635 Beckett Way. And the only question I have is, it's zoned for single and dual family use. I really have no plans for dual family use because I'm probably going to end up retiring this whole place, but it was, I think, single, dual, and 3 families per the county. You said that it would be commensurate to county in the zoning that you had it in. So I just want to know that I'm not locked out of, should by wild chance I decide I want to, put a duplex there, that I could. I don't have any intentions of doing that. I just want to know I'm not locked out of that. And the only reason I'm bringing it up now is because you said single family, so.
Yes.
Actually, the R70 zoning district does allow for duplexes. It's a 1 and 2 family.
Which is, as long as we're in agreement that that's, available to me, then
Yeah.
I have no comments, thank you.
Okay, now, you're not gonna live there. I mean, are you?
I will, literally, it's a long-term play, but I'll be there hopefully if I can retire in the next 5 to 10 years, I will be there. But I'm gonna maintain that property. I may, it may end up being a rental, right? It hasn't been since we've owned it. We've just fully worked on it, it's paid off, there's no mortgage. So we're in no big hurry. I just was only saying that because we're so official here, I wanted to be sure that I wasn't locked into only having a single family, that's all. That's the only reason I brought it up. But the terms of use for the use of the property is gonna be single family as planned right now. And it's gonna be a while before I get it fixed up, but
Okay, we have any questions for, the applicant, Mr. Arnold?
No, none.
Mr. DeLucia?
No questions.
Mr. Vincent?
None? None for me at this time.
Mr. Stavropoulos, Mr. Carr?
No questions at this time.
No questions.
good. So I'm done.
Thank you. Okay, I guess, no. I have to ask if there's anyone in the audience who wishes to speak against this. Is there anyone who wishes to speak for it? Seeing none, close the public portion of the meeting and entertain the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. There's 3 items that we need to deal with on this. Do they have to be in separate motions, or can they be made in one motion?
They can be all together.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the applicant's request for annexation and approve, and we recommend approval of ordinance 2013-13. That we also recommend approval of the application for future land use designation of RU on the Tarpon Springs future land use map, which is set forth in ordinance 2013-14, and that we approve the zoning for this property for the R-70 single-family residence zoning district on the official zoning map of Tarpon Springs as set forth in ordinance 2013-12.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Who was second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Arnold. Okay, we're open for discussion.
Call the question.
No discussion, no discussion?
Call the question.
Called, okay. Roll call.
Mr. Chambers?
Yes.
Mr. DeLucia?
Yes.
Mr. Stavropoulos?
Yes.
Ms. St. Arnold?
Yes.
Mr. Vincent?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Chairman Francis?
Yes. You're done.
Yes. There'll be a April 16th Board of Commissioners first reading of the annexation and other ordinances, and then there'll be another public hearing on May 7th for the second and final reading of your annexation.
Oh, you always call Rodney, I mean.
Yes.
Rodney.
Okay.
Yes. Have a good evening.
Have a good night.
Yes. What is, I don't know. These chairs are gone. Well, Mr. Attorney,
I would, move expeditiously to defer these items.
The next two?
Yes.
I would say so too. In light of what we've seen in the paper, and in light of the police department really didn't give us any comments, but it could be at some point that these would be outlawed. I don't know how we can put these on and then have to go back and do something else later.
Well, if the applicants aren't here right now, we ought to defer it anyway. And so I'd move, Mr. Chairman, that we have,
They were here, sorry, they were here last time too, right?
The 13-14, yes, they were here last time, but a lot has changed.
I move that we, defer application 13-10, Spinner's Business Center, and application 13-14, Vercor LLC, to our next, scheduled meeting, since the applicants, don't appear to be here.
Second.
Okay, moved in second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
The only thing I think with this is because they're two separate applications, we would have to do the 13-10 first, take a vote.
Okay.
And
All right.
13-14, we'll do it that
Okay,
way.
let's go ahead and do the 13.
I amend my motion to make it first on, number 13-10.
Second.
Okay.
Okay, that was Mr. Gialusis was the second.
Mr. Chambers?
Yeah.
Mr. Gialusis?
Yes.
Mr. Stavropoulos?
Yes.
Ms. St. Arnold?
Yes.
Mr. Vincent?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Chairman Francis?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, I move that we, defer application 13-14, Vercor LLC, because the applicants aren't here at this time.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Chambers?
Yep.
Mr. Gialusis?
Yes.
Mr. Stavropoulos?
Yes.
Ms. St. Arnold?
Yes.
Mr. Vincent?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Chairman Francis?
Yes.
I just want to say, if there's ever proof that there's a God, this is it.
Staff comments.
I just wanted to say one quick welcome to Jacob Carr. He's been appointed as an alternate to the Planning and Zoning Board. He's worked with the city in a previous capacity on the Heritage Preservation Board for a number of years. I think he's a good guy, and he'll bring a lot to the board. So just wanted to extend a warm welcome to Jacob, and hope you enjoy your time.
Thanks.
And just be aware, our meetings are not normally like this.
No.
Watching them on TV.
No, this is once every 100 years, like a 100-year storm. Yeah.
Way to start.
What happened since I've been here?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to also tell you that I've made significant progress on preparing a handout explaining the quasi-judicial process, maybe in too much detail, but and I also intend to include sections on the public records law, the ethics law, and ex parte communications. I've been working with staff, Rodney and Renee, and our plan is, whenever I get this thing finished, to see if we can get, we kind of like to do it in one fell swoop, see if we can get the boards together
Mm-hmm.
and have a good maybe meet here and have a good hour and a half presentation on those topics, with a handout and allow questions and hopefully bring everybody up to snuff. So we're moving forward on that.
Yes, sir.
Something that
That's great.
we're concerned about.
That's what we need, and Rodney and I are working on some of the educational items. So we want, like the SMART code and special area plan. We have a book coming. That's going to help out quite a bit. So this board is it's not one for potted plants. You can't be a potted plant and be on this board. There's no way. So you have to be an active participant. So it looks good. Board comments, board members.
Yeah, I actually have one. We're 2011. We did a Wounded Warrior project, and we're in the process of putting it together again for Memorial Day, May 27th. We raised about $10,000 the last time we did that. We gave it all back out to the soldiers, and we're going to do it again. we have the congressman, Bilirakis, we have the sheriff, the police chief, the mayor. Also, we have Major Chambers, my brother who's a Green Beret Special Forces, 2 Purple Hearts, and a bunch of medals being flown down from Fort Bragg to come be the keynote speaker that night. We have Bobby Palermo performing, and 100% of the money that we raise will be given back out that night to the veterans that we have vetted for this event. We're going to be bringing it to the commission to ask them to support it and get the city behind it like they did the last time.
Okay, just keep us posted on it, so.
I will.
When you say we, who are you referring to? Is it an organization that's sponsoring it? You said we're doing this.
Yeah, Barlish and Chambers is the community service project, but the 501c3 is the Sand Soldiers of America. Sand Soldiers of America. The website is www.wesaluteyou.us.
You don't have any internet plazas, do you?
No. We're not going to do any type of casinos or non-casino entities.
Okay, we just want to make that clear in the public, so the whole public can see it and hear it. Okay. Mr. Chairman? Sir.
I'd like to, I don't know if we need a consensus of the board, but I think we should recommend to the Board of Commissioners that they consider a moratorium on this land use of these gaming arcades, to study the issue and determine whether or not they want to pass legislation or an ordinance regarding that type of a use. And so I would encourage us as a board to recommend that to the Board of Commissioners. And I don't know if we need to do a motion or if we just do that by consensus.
A motion would be appropriate.
Then I make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I'm assuming the purpose of the moratorium, the way moratoriums go, they're for a period of time. And the purpose of the moratorium is to allow a local government to not accept any more applications while they study whether any additional regulation is required, and to clarify issues. In this case, there are numerous issues regarding these internet cafes.
Sure.
And it will require an extensive bit of discovery. There are maybe 15 to 20 cities in the state that have enacted more have enacted moratoriums, but a lot of them, those 15 to 20, have enacted ordinances regulating them in a variety of ways. And accepted by the Board of Commissioners, that would give the city buy the city some time to comprehensively analyze those and figure the best way to go.
Now, is this something that you will pass along to the BOC? I don't know.
I view this as part of your authority to recommend changes to the code. So I don't know how is that brought forward.
I can relay that to Renee Benson, and then she can include that in correspondence to the City Commission. It's been discussed internally, so I think there's support from the administration to do that.
Okay. I mean, if you want us to come in and sign something, I'll come in and sign. If we need signatures,
right?
Take a vote.
No, I just think I simply informing the Board of Commissioners that the Planning and Zoning Board has recommended a moratorium to be sufficient and probably persuasive.
Okay.
Go
ahead, Mr. Stavropoulos.
Just one question. That would include these two applications as well?
Probably not. They went under the door.
But we don't have to approve those, so.
You don't have to deny them. You have to base your decision upon the evidence presented at the hearing.
All right.
We've already postponed them legally, right, Mr. Attorney? Okay.
Call the question.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Chambers?
Yes.
Mr. Gialusis?
Yes.
Mr. Stavropoulos?
Yes.
Ms. St. Arnold?
Yes.
Mr. Vinson?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Chairman Francis?
Yes. Okay. Any other board comments?
one comment.
Yes, sir.
And I'll make it quick. And this is, I guess, directed to Rodney, being a staff person here and probably knows what's happening in the city more than most of us. Do you know when those tall street lights were installed on Pinellas Avenue? I don't drive at night much, and I was just down there, and they're so high. The one like in front of Donovan's place next to Greek Church, it's higher than the buildings and shines over the trees. I mean, and I looked down the street, and all of them are that high on Pinellas Avenue. Is that something we had to do, or whose idea was that?
It wasn't us. Again, Pinellas Avenue is state right of way. So when they did the resurfacing project back in 2003, I believe, 2004. Part of the scope of the work for the designer and the contractor was to bring up the illumination standards on Pinellas Avenue to current DOT standards. And so there was a lighting project that was part of that resurfacing, and the department did a lighting analysis report which specified the amount of light they wanted on the roadway as a technical standard for that, and the lights that you see out there now are designed to meet that standard.
Well, they shine a lot more than just on the roadway. I don't know what those standards provide, but I wish they would do more shielding on their lights if they're going to put them up to high, because you can see them a couple blocks away over trees and over buildings, and that's outrageous. And I don't know if we have any input. I understand that it's not our jurisdiction, but it seems like, we spend a lot of money to beautify those roads, and then the state comes in, or some bureaucrat, and says, our standards require these ugly poles and lights.
I can tell you, Mr. Vinson, that unfortunately, in having prior dealings with the department, especially the roadway side of it, the city really has no influence on them at all. They have to meet a standard, and they do it.
That's from a historic perspective.
I'm not surprised to hear that, but I'm not very, it's discouraging when we try to beautify the city and downtown, and that's not the only instance, but when, we spend a lot of money on these out-of-town experts that tell us how to make it pretty, and then they do that, and then the next thing you see, these signs popping up all over these speed signs that are automatic, like, who in the world is going to go speeding downtown anyway? And we got these new signs that are up there. It's like, it's a proliferation of signs that hides the beautification, and that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Thank you, that's all.
What about the lighting ordinance?
We'll be bringing that back for a discussion for the board to mark it up, and so we'll get some direction from you guys as to what parts you want to keep in it, what you want to take out, and then we'll advertise it and get it on its way.
Okay. Anything else? Entertain a motion for adjournment.
I so move.
Second. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
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 That's it. Thank you. Is this a record or?